안녕하세요. 하루예요. Welcome to 한국. Let me introduce to you the origin of their language. During the time of Joseon Dynasty, around 1393 to 1897, it was under the China's colonialism. Only rich scholars and people inside the palace uses Mandarin, while outside of the palace were poor and uneducated. In that time, Sejong Taewang created Hangul characters based on his window. Hangul has 10 moum, 11 combined moum, 14 basic jaum, and 5 double jaum, in the total of 40 characters. They also have patching. This is called when the jaum is placed below and the sounds changes. For example, 안녕하세요. If you can see, circle on the top is written as silent, but when it placed on the bottom, it sounds ng, now. Next is Hankuk. As you can see, Gyuk or Deji, when placed on the top, sounds like ka, but if it is placed on the bottom, it is ka, k, Hankuk. There are 3 strokes that the Hanguk is used. First, they called it as the sky. Second is the man. And third is the earth. But today, they don't usually use sky anymore. It changes into a small line. Did you know that South Korea uses 2 handwritings? The first one, they call it Hanja, or the Sino-Korean. And the second one is the Hangul, or the native Korean. If you watch K-dramas that the themes are about dynasties, you will notice that some of the handwritten is formed in the Hanja, similar to Mandarin, because of that time, China's colonialism. Lastly, the Korean structure. It starts with the subject, the object, and the verb. For example, 저는 한글을 공부합니다. I, Korean alphabet, study. I study Korean alphabet. 저는 한글을 공부합니다. And last one is 나는 너를 사랑합니다. I, you, love. I love you. 나는 너를 사랑합니다.
As we all know, Korea is one of the most popular countries. Korea is popular because it has a lot of good places, and also they became more popular because of their Korean boy groups. Now, let's talk about the Korean manner of eating. They always follow their 10 basic rules of Korean dining etiquette because for them, having a good table manners brings harmony to everyone sharing the meal. First, you must say, I will eat well or I will enjoy this meal. It is the polite way of showing their appreciation to the food they receive and for the person who cooked it. Second, elder first. It is their way of showing respect to elders. Elders should pick up his or her chopsticks first to start off the family meal. Third, you should start with soup. This will warm your tongue and prepare your taste buds for the flavorful dishes to come. Fourth, bowl, chopstick, and spoon. Chopsticks are for dishes, spoon is for rice and soup. You should keep your bowl on the table at all times while eating. Fifth, don't hoard. You should always take just enough from each time. Don't get a lot of food you can't finish. Just a simple reminder, sharing is caring. Sixth, balance your flavor. Basically, you need to enjoy every dish at the table. Being choosy means missing out. Seventh, eat calmly, chew thoroughly. You should eat quietly. Don't wolf down your food or chomp with your mouth open. Eighth, you should stay focused. You should not do anything, just eat. Enjoy your meal and focus on your conversation with your loved ones at the table. Ninth, pass with both hands, pour for others. You should use your both hands when passing bowls, glasses, or dishes to show respect, especially for alcohol. Let them fill your glass and you should fill their glass. Last but not the least, finish with grace. Place your chopsticks and spoon beside your bowl or plate. Make sure there are no leftover and finish with saying, I ate well. Take note, you should not use your chopsticks like skewer and never stab them in your bowl or rice. Because Korean believes it attracts bad luck and it is a funeral ritual.
Traditional dress has become a blend from Western and Korean history, and its form and definition are ever-changing but in a different progress. The terms Korean use for traditional dress is hanbok, which means dress of our race, while yangbok is used for refer to Western dress. These two categories are worn from Korea often. Though yangbok and hanbok has influenced each other, they appear distinct from each other in Korean traditional. Korean forms of traditional dress for female and male contain many similarities. When store-bought, the parts are basically rectangular shape, such as the full skirt of the female and the trouser of the males. The prescribed direction and manner of fastening the parts of the hanbok are very specific. Fabric texture are similar and may be smooth liner or cotton for everyday, and silk or silk-like fabric for ceremony and special events. Korean hanbok contains two main pieces: the full floor-length skirt or chima, which cover the torso or leg, and the chogori or chogori, which cover the upper torso. The chima made of 3 width of fabric gathered into the 3 or 2.5 inch wide, wrapped tightly around the body, directly under the arm and fastened just above the breast. The middle skirt panel is placed at the center front of the body and wrapped around overlap and open on the back left side. The tie band is brought around and secured with a front knot to fasten the skirt. The skirt is fitted to the body at the chest area and the gathered curve from the chest and then fall to the floor. The chogori or chogori, worn on the upper torso, has a V-neck and is asymmetrical with an overlap to tie on the person's right side. The sleeve is a rectangular shape with a slight curve on the underarm. The neckband referred to as the git began as the rectangular but evolved as a curved line. The dongjung is a white detachable neckband made of stiff cardboard and wrapped in fabric. It is basted on the neckband, making it both decorative and easy to replace when soiled. The otgoryum is a tie band that closes the chogori and when fastened with a one-sided bow, result in a vertical asymmetrical line that trails and extends into the chima. The norige is a hanging ornament carefully selected as an accessories that attach to the tie band. It often contains beads or tassel that swings freely when attached to the skirt band. A long coat or kurumagi is worn over the chogori and chima in cold weather. Traditionally, the hair is arranged by pulling it in back from the face and secured with a long knot or chignun for married women or a braid for unmarried women. The resulting small, neat head shape is considered an appropriate and pleasing proportion, in contrast with a voluminous skirt. A headdress, once an important aspect of traditional dress is no longer worn. On the feet are worn padded white socks referred to as byongson. The padding provides a modified curve that relates to the gentle curve of the rest of the costume. The slipper shoe, gomusin, is worn over the padded socks and repeat the gentle curve. Historically made of braided rice straw of silk, by the early 21st century, the slipper was composed of rubber or leather. Male traditional dress contains two parts: baji, the trouser, and the top of chogori. The trousers are cut and sewed from the rectangular and triangular shapes. They can be folded flat for storage but are shaped on the body by folding to the right and fastened with a separate tie. The man's chogori, while similar to that to the woman, is longer and wider neckband and shorter ribbon type. It fastened on the right and has a V-shaped neckline with a curved neckband and white stiff detachable band similar to the one worn by the female. A vest of the contrasting color is worn over the chogori, then a jacket over the vest to complete the ensemble. Young males and females wear shapes similar to their adult counterpart, but the fabric hues are more intense, primarily color and warmer in hue.
Marriage between a man and a woman is decided by the bride and the groom's elders in traditional Korean society, as it was in the many other traditional civilizations. Family and family customs are valued beyond anything else in Confucianism. Marriages are regarded as the most significant event in one's life. A Korean wedding is a vibrant yet traditional event. Through Western wedding, rituals have made inroads into Korean wedding in recent decades. Most ceremonies still include some components of ancient Korean traditionals. Symbolic rites, gift-giving, bowing, and bells are visually always presented during a Korean wedding. There are 9 wedding traditionals in Korea. First, the bride will most likely wear hanbok, or Korean traditional formal clothing historically named of silk, while the groom may wear hanbok or a suit. Second, the colors that bride and grooms wear are symbolic of the Taeguk or Yum-yang, also known as Yin and Yang. The bride dons a red hanbok while the groom wears blue together. The two colors like the circle at the center of the Korean flag, represented of balance, complementary, and titles. Third, envelopes of money, cash, gift in white envelopes are the most common gift at a Korean wedding. Traditionally, during the payback, the bride and groom receive words of blessing and money gifts from the parents. Fourth, professional parade tradition Korean music will play. Historically, the groom would parade to the bride's house on a horse, but now an officiant will enter the beginning to explain the wedding, guiding the audience through the sequence of events. Fifth, explanation of the table. To explain the contents on the table will include Mandarin-style wooden ducks, won, ansil, pine cones, bamboo, dates, chestnut, persimmon, red beans, gourd cups, and copper in the bowl. 6. This is the presentation of the wild goose, in which historically the groom would give a wild goose to his mother-in-law to symbolize his commitment to his new wife, showing he would be loyal to her for life, just like geese, which mate for life. 7. Gyeongbyul. Historically, a Korean wedding was an arranged marriage in which the bride and groom would see one another for the first time at this point. First, the bride and groom, who would each have 2 attendants to assist in the ceremony, would walk to opposite ends of the wedding table, and the attendants would spread out a rug for the bride and a rug for the groom, and The attendants wash the bride and groom's hands to symbolize cleaning themselves for the ceremony. 8. Hapgirnre. This is the time when the bride and groom will drink from the same copper cup. Either the bride and groom will drink from two separate halves of gourd connected by a thread, from the same cup, or from a combination of the both. 9. Paibek. This is one of the most important and frequently liked by the wedding guests moment of a traditional Korean wedding, stressing the significance of honoring to Koreans. Traditionally, only the groom were invited to the paibek with the bride and groom, but now both sets of parents are included.
As we all know, South Korea is a diverse country, having different beliefs, cultures, practices, and religion. 안녕하세요. 저는 런입니다. And today I'm going to tackle about the different religion in South Korea. A slight majority of South Koreans doesn't belong to any religion or a religion. Now, a religion is popular in South Korea, with 56% of the population claiming to be unaffiliated with a religion, according to the 2015 national census. Now, according to a Gallup International poll conducted in 2012, South Korea is the world's fifth biggest population of atheists, with 15% of South Koreans identifying themselves as convinced atheists. So what atheist is? Atheist doesn't belong to any god, or they don't believe in any religion, but rather they believe in themselves. Now, the most common confessions among individuals who belong to a formal religion, which is Buddhism and Christianity. Despite the fact that Buddhism was influential in ancient times and Christianity influenced large segments of the population in the 18th and 19th centuries, their membership grew rapidly only by the mid-20th century as part of the profound changes that South Korean society underwent in the previous century. Next is the most influential religions in the lives of South Koreans, which is still Buddhism and Confucianism. Tens of thousands of temples have been built across Korea since Buddhism arrived in 372 AD. During the Three Kingdom period, Buddhism arrived in Korea from China. In the North States period and following Goryeo states, Buddhism was a major religious and cultural influence. In the early centuries, Confucianism was also transmitted to Korea from China, and it was renamed Korean Confucianism in Goryeo. Korean Confucianism was established as a state philosophy and religion only in the later Joseon monarchy, and Korean Buddhism was suppressed for 500 years. In today's South Korea, Buddhism is more prevalent in the east, particularly on the Yangnam and Gangwon regions, as well as Jeju. As per the 2015 national census, 56.1% of the population is irreligious. Protestantism accounts for 19.7% of the total population, Korean Buddhism for 15.5%, and Catholicism for 7.9%. Other religions such as Won Buddhism, Confucianism, Chondoism, Daesunjinryo, Islam, Daejeongism, Jongsanism, and Orthodox Christianity are practiced by a tiny minority of South Koreans, which is 0.8%. Now that you know a lot of things about the different religions in South Korea, I hope that you learned something about it. That's the end of my presentation. 그리고 다시 로안입니다. 들어줘서 고마워.
BTS. Are you ready for this? 1, 2